Welcome to the final instalment in our video tutorial on how to make a carbon fibre bonnet. In this instalment we're going to be looking at trimming these two outer and inner skins that we made in the previous videos, and we'll be fixing the fasteners and bonding these two skins together and then putting the final touches to our finished component. First thing to do is trim this inner moulding. To do that we're going to be using a Dremel like this, and we're going to be rough trimming around the edge following the original line of the bonnet and then taking out this inside section as well. Now, some obvious points that we've got to make before we start the trim is safety precautions. We're going to be using good quality dust mask, eye protection because we're working with high-speed tools, and we've got our localized extraction that's going to be taking away all of the carbon dust. Now, with that out of the way, we can get on with the trim. Now that we've done the rough trim using the Dremel, the next step is to use a permagrip file like this to tidy up these edges considerably. So we just do that, go all the way around the edge, making this flat and consistent all the way around. The next thing we're going to do is drill the holes for the hinge fasteners. To do this, we've marked out the position for the two holes, which we've measured off the original bonnet, and we're just going to use a normal drill bit, ensuring that it's quite sharp. We're going to use a high speed and we're going to use steady pressure. We're going to put a block underneath to prevent the carbon fibre from bursting as we get through. We've marked out the area at the front for the catch mechanism, and we're just going to cut this out again using the Dremel and then use a file to finish the edges. We're looking now at the fasteners. We're going to be using these special bonding fasteners, which are designed for composites use, and we're going to be gluing these in place, and that's going to be the studs for the hinge pickup. And we've also fabricated this keep mechanism for the latch, and we've just keyed this up with the grinder so that we've got a good bonding surface. For bonding the fasteners, we're going to be using a structural epoxy adhesive. This is from our Permabond range. It's the ET500. Now, we use an epoxy because that offers excellent bond strength to both the metal and to the composite material, which is obviously perfect for bonding fasteners. So apply the adhesive through a static mixer nozzle, which actually mixes the two parts to the epoxy as it goes, and we put plenty of adhesive all around the area to be bonded. The peel ply finish, of course, on the underside of this laminate is ideal for bonding to already. And then we just push the fastener down into the adhesive. And what we're looking for with the bonding fastener, ideally, is for some of the adhesive to squeeze up through the holes in the bonding fastener and actually out onto the top of the fastener, creating a mechanical lock to hold that fastener in place. And then the same again with the latch mechanism, we'll just bond that to hold it firmly in place. To bond the two halves of the bonnet together, we're going to use the upper mould to hold the parts stable and secure whilst we do the bond itself. So we take the upper skin and drop it back into the mould that we used to make it in the first place. And then we can take the inside skin. Now, it's only about 10 minutes after we've bonded these fasteners, but you can see they're already incredibly secure, no danger of those moving. And so we're ready to actually bond these two skins together. For this bond, we're going to use a different adhesive to the one that we used for the metal fixings, and that's because epoxy adhesives are recommended where you're bonding between plastic and metal, but for a plastic to plastic bond, such as this, then the ideal adhesive is a polyurethane. So we're using the Permabond PT326 from our range, and we're going to be putting a large bead of the adhesive all the way around the perimeter, both this edge and the inside edge. So it's a 20-minute adhesive. It's not too much of a panic. Again, we're using a static mixer nozzle, so the adhesive will be thoroughly mixed by the time it makes it to the part. Right, we'll have some gap filling to do, so we don't want to be too short with the adhesive. We've just got a small amount of spring in this inner moulding that's holding it off the outer skin, so we're just going to pull some vacuum bagging film over this to protect it, and then weight these down with some bricks. This adhesive is about 20 minutes to tack, so we're going to leave this around about 40 to 45 minutes before we come back to it. But before we go, we'll make sure that we've got good contact all the way around the edge. Now that the adhesive is cured, we're going to remove the weight and take the part out of the mould. And you can see here where this excess adhesive has actually spilled over onto the upper moulding, and that's the reason why we didn't trim this upper moulding earlier. We've just left this so that we can trim it now, and that's prevented any of this excess adhesive from going onto our mould. We're now on to the final trim. This is of course the most important, because when this bonnet is fitted to a vehicle, this is the edge that's going to be clearly seen. So what we're going to do is trim it again using a Dremel, and we're going to do that a few millimeters wide of where we can see that the original bonnet ended, and then we're going to rub the edge back using a sanding block. After we've finished with the Dremel, a Permagrip block like this is absolutely fantastic for rubbing back to the line. So we can see clearly where the bonnet should end, and that's just the slight overrun that we've been left with from the Dremel. And then we just finish these edges by hand using abrasive papers, probably going for a 120 and then finishing up with a 240. That now concludes this video tutorial. We've made an extremely light, visually perfect carbon fibre vehicle panel, and with the information that we've given you in this tutorial, so can you. So as ever, all of the materials, the supplies and the equipment that you've seen in this video are available from our website, easycomposites.co.uk, and if you want to discuss this project, we hope to see you on the forum talkcomposites.com.